David Haller is a troubled young man who was diagnosed with schizophrenia as a child. Shuffled from one psychiatric institution to the next in his early 30s, David met and fell in love with a beautiful and troubled fellow patient named Sid. After a startling encounter with her, he was forced to confront the shocking possibility that the voices he hears and the visions he sees may actually be real. Sid led David to Melanie Bird, a demanding but nurturing therapist who heads a team of specialists, Ptonomy, Carrie, and Carrie, each of whom possesses a unique and extraordinary gift. Together, they helped David to recognize and harness his hidden abilities and unlock a deeply suppressed truth. He had been haunted his entire life by a malicious parasite of unimaginable power.
This week on You've Never Seen That, Legion.
From Atlanta, Fulton County.
But one objective.
The color I see. Then you maintain the status.
December 7th, 9th.
You never seen that! You never seen that!
Welcome back to a final episode of the last ever You've Never Seen That podcast. This is a show where two dudes watch a show they've never seen before, and then they discuss the plot, the characters, and the fandom surrounding it.
Hold on. What?
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 What did I say?
This is the last ever episode. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
I don't want to do this podcast anymore because this Legion
Broke you?
Yeah.
It broke you. I see.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
you want me to? I can help you out here. I can lend a helping hand.
Sure.
When we say we watch a random episode of a random television series we've never seen before, we are using that term so loosely. Like we expect the shows to be cohesive and make sense to someone.
Of all the shows we've ever watched for this podcast, it's been 3-ish years
About
of
that, yeah.
random episodes of random television that
That
we've
you've never seen before, where we
And
discuss the plot, the characters.
We've discussed the plot.
So many plots.
We've discussed the characters.
All of the characters.
We've discussed the fandom surrounding them.
For the most part, yeah.
This show fucking broke me. Can I
Yeah.
swear yet? Has it been 5 minutes?
Have we been? Is there?
Oh.
Is there?
I've given up on that rule.
Oh, okay, cool.
We haven't been flagged yet, so we'll see.
All right.
We watched an episode of the FX show Legion.
Yeah. We watched season 3, episode 5, called Chapter 24.
Chapter 24.
Yeah.
The episode description was
David goes to war.
I think wages war.
David wages war.
Okay. I was very excited to watch this when we pulled it out of the hat.
Were you?
I was.
Okay.
After watching it,
Yeah.
I don't know what is. I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm curious. Have you ever seen the movie A Beautiful Mind?
I sure have.
Did you also have this same reaction when you found out Paul Bettany wasn't real? Spoilers. The movie's like 25 years old.
I've never done a drug.
Okay,
In my
sure.
life, right?
Yeah.
I've
To get to Legion levels of thought, I think you need to do all of them.
Could you say you've never smoked that?
I've never done drugs.
You've never done drugs.
Okay, I did not know that
Podcast
this
about to get weird.
that this show was like
Weird. Weird.
Can you?
I think
Is
weird
there a
is
better word?
abstract.
I don't know. I didn't. I knew.
Insane.
Let's start how we always start. Here's what I knew. I
Goofith.
knew it was Marvel.
I didn't know that. I'm just finding that out now.
Did you not know that? You knew that.
No, I knew that. I've watched the first season.
Oh, you know what? No.
So I did know that.
I did. Hold on. I'll explain what I mean when I get to. Yeah.
I knew it was Marvel. I knew that Aubrey Plaza was in it. I thought it had something to do with the X-Men universe for some reason. I think it
yes,
does.
It does. For clarity, this does not. It is not part of the MCU
Also,
extended universe.
this is going to be my last episode of the podcast.
Yeah. No, we figured that. Producer Josh has had some great jokes over the last few weeks.
Do you
He's
want
ready
me to give you just a little bit of clarity on the character, or should we wait?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about me quitting the podcast.
No, he couldn't care
No,
about that.
I'm fine with that.
Anyway, let me finish.
Okay, so you knew it was in the Marvel. You
Knew
knew
it
it was Marvel.
I knew it was Aubrey Plaza. I was pretty sure it was in the X-Men universe.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that it was this incredibly bizarre.
Oh, bizarre!
to the point-
That's the word we
I-
were looking for.
4 minutes in, I was like, oh, none of this makes sense.
Oh, you got 4 minutes in?
Well, because I tried to put pieces together with the previously on, and then I saw the mustache lady men, and then I saw the robots,
Not
and then I
even
saw the
No, it's not even a previously on.
yeah, the previously on.
No, it's a tangentially on.
Anyway, so those are the things I knew,
Uh-huh.
and I was like,
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about this before.
Uh-huh.
We've watched sci-fi and nerdy comic book shit before.
We've watched really weird shit before.
We all enjoy comics. I personally like X-Men is my favorite
Yeah.
of the Marvel universe.
I think we have the same favorite X-Man. We'll say it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gambit.
Oh, I was gonna say.
How are you not gonna say Gambit? You know what? We're not gonna get
I
into
was
it. Right
trying to make a joke, and then I was gonna say a Pokemon because I thought it would be funny, but
Oh.
I couldn't think of a Pokemon.
now. No,
fast
you're supposed
enough.
to say Jigglypuff. 'Cause this is-
Yeah.
That's the TikTok. That's the TikTok.
Yeah, no, Gambit is my favorite X-Man. But I don't know anything about Legion, which does that make me a poser?
Yeah,
Am
I think so.
like,
Let's go to producer Josh for a
Producer
ruling. Is Bellamy a poser?
I don't even know how to answer that because I'm really not a fan of X-Men.
Oh. Who's your favorite X-Man?
Ash Ketchum.
Yes, Ash Ketchum.
But I honestly didn't.
What was the joke we made
I didn't.
about the white trash Pokemon trainer?
Oh, during our little bleeps and bloops that no one's gonna see.
Yeah, that no one's gonna see.
Oh,
God
gosh.
damn, I wish I could remember that.
That was a
Ah,
good. That was a good
that was a
joke.
good bit. If this makes no sense to anyone out there, welcome, Legion.
Okay, so
Legion.
I was excited to watch it because I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
Marvel, it's nerdy, it's
Sure.
part of X-Men, and then I watch it and there are no X-Man. Is he an X-Man?
Is Legion an X-Man?
Legion is an X-Man.
Yes, so-
Daddy's an X-Man.
Daddy is an X-Men, and
no.
Daddy's daddy is actually Charles Xavier in the comics.
Wait, what?
Daddy's daddy? So
Farouk?
grandpa?
Farouk.
Farouk is daddy's daddy.
I don't even.
You mean
I-
daddy's?
I don't.
You
I
mean,
don't know. I don't
You
know.
mean
what we're-
granddaddy or daddy's daddy? No, maybe he's just Farouk in this.
I don't know what we're talking
Legion's
about.
Legion's dad in the comics is Charles Xavier, Mr. X.
Yeah.
Mr. X? I don't even know.
Professor X.
Professor X.
Miss John.
Don't Google Mr. X. That's probably
He
bad.
hasn't graduated yet in this universe.
So, back to my point. There are some bits and pieces that I knew about the show.
Sure.
I knew it was like generally popular.
Yeah.
FX actually does a really good job of putting out like kind
Yeah.
of like under the radar hits.
Yeah. It's always
Um,
sunny in Philadelphia. Not a lot of
but,
people watch that one.
Like I said, I watched the full 40 plus minutes of this, and
Was this 40 minutes?
40 plus minutes of this. I watched it. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Sure.
I don't know anything anymore.
You don't know anything anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
What did you know about
Okay, so this is what I
whatever
meant about
this
it.
was?
It's I knew it was Marvel, but it's not part of the MCU.
Right.
It is a separate universe. I didn't know if this show was part of the X-Men cinematic universe.
This
like
is
the-
actually going to be my last episode of the
yeah,
podcast.
no, we
Sorry,
got
go-
it. We're
continue.
getting that. No, there was okay. I remember Keanu Reeves doing the movie Constantine.
Sure.
And then that was loosely
Who,
followed.
who doesn't?
Who
Huh?
doesn't?
Huh?
It's one of yeah. Who people in the I don't know. Is there you've never seen that podcast for the movie Constantine? I don't know. I don't run these things. I know they did a Legion movie.
Sure.
I don't know I know that Constantine and Legion loosely somehow fit into the X-Men, but I didn't know if it was part of a cinematic universe or if it was just like randomly thrown in there. It's also been like a decade since I even heard about the Legion movie or watched Constantine. So I have no idea if it's even related. But I thought I knew it was gonna be weird, not superhero heroes.
What was your expectation of this show?
Okay, so I thought it was gonna be kind of more in the vein of like an Arrow or a.
Oh no, I didn't think so at all.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more in the vein of like Arrow or what was the other one that we watched? Gotham, kinda, right? Where it's like a single cam story
yeah.
about the universe, but it's
Did we
not
watch
the
another-
universe.
We watched another one of those CW DC shows, didn't we? Arrow.
Yeah, Flash.
The Flash.
The Flash. We watched the musical episode of The Flash. Yeah. So I didn't know.
Supergirl crossover.
Here's the thing: I didn't know if it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like one of those. And then when producer Josh sent us the thumbnail for the Hulu watch link, and the picture looked like it was almost like Midnight Gospel or something like that. I was like, oh, this is gonna get really weird.
So I kind of had high expectations for this because, like I said, I knew it was Marvel, I knew it was X-Men, and I was excited, and then I watched it, and then I wasn't let down.
I was gonna say, I feel like
I wasn't let down or disappointed. I didn't have feelings afterwards. I watched it, and I don't know.
Oh, is that about the movie Legion, or the movie Constantine,
this?
or
No, this is about the show.
the show? Okay, so the show is a standalone.
so I
It's a
knew-
story about a Marvel character, but it's completely.
I knew
standalone.
that this
Got
was
it.
going to be like dark, and I knew that it was going to be.
I didn't
weird.
know how dark it was gonna be.
I also
Didn't
knew
know how weird it was gonna
I
be.
also knew that Aubrey Plaza plays a very non-Aubrey Plaza role in this, right? She plays kind of like very evil.
I didn't even know she was
dark-
in this.
She's in it. She
Well-
dies
Yeah.
in this episode very early.
Yeah, we see that.
So when we talk about the fandom surrounding it,
Sure,
who is this for?
sure. That really kind of morphed into who is this for, didn't it?
I don't know.
It used to be like a fandom,
I-
but not every show is a
Can
fandom.
I do that voice? I realize it's teetering on what's his name? Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
I don't know. Oh, we're getting thumbs up. I don't know who this is for.
Okay.
It's not. If you're a fan of,
Do you think if you here, I'm not. You know what I'm gonna
if
do?
you're a fan of Iron Man, I don't know if you're gonna like.
Can I want to say.
Legion.
I want to say some shows, and I want you to tell me if you think it shares a crossover.
Sure.
Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Okay.
This is fun.
Arrow.
This is fun. I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
Cowboy Bebop.
Arrow is a much more like straightforward.
This is not a superhero show.
right.
It is
That's
about
what I mean.
it's about
It,
people
like-
with powers, but it is not a
There is
superhero.
no hero.
Yeah.
Everyone's a. Okay, is he good?
No, I don't. I know. Well,
Who's the good guy?
okay.
in
Hold on. Well, I think the
because it sounds like everyone's the bad guy.
Legion is the bad guy. Legion is David.
Then who are
David
the other bad
is
guys?
the bad guy. They're bad to lead. They're bad to the bad guy. It's like a Venom scenario. Think of it like Venom, right?
Yes.
So
that makes sense.
So Legion is to David what Venom is to Eddie Brock.
I would say that the demographic.
That's loose because Venom ends up.
The demographic of this show is probably skews male, probably
Also, if people liked Venom, I would guess they liked this.
late teens to like early 30s.
Do you think the people who like this show wear more Punisher apparel or more Tap Out?
Those are the same people.
Are they though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there we go. I think we found out who this is for.
I want to say that
Can you imagine rolling up to Comic-Con in like a Tap Out shirt?
I want to say that this show is not bad.
No,
There's nothing about the show that was bad. If anything, it's
good.
it's kind of great.
It's actually really good.
but I just
It did
I
break your brain.
couldn't-
I can
I
tell that it has
couldn't-
broken your brain.
I just couldn't function afterwards.
Why WandaVision fans should watch FX's Legion?
Did you
I would
finish?
say I finished WandaVision. I don't think it was not nearly as weird as
No.
Legion.
No, I don't think so. I think there are elements of WandaVision that are kind of
I think it's just
in that weird mysticism and weirdness, but it's not.
I think it's just gotten to the point where the MCU decided to get weird.
Okay, so go back to the fandom surrounding it. It clearly has a fandom. I mean, the show does really well.
I'm assuming it does.
It's pretty well rated. I think they went.
Josh,
they're
can we
on
get a
4
thermometer check?
I think they're on 4 seasons.
Yeah, 91% on the thermometer.
Okay, 86 audience
86
score.
audience
So
score, yeah,
there's 86%.
Season 3. They're on. They have 3 seasons.
How of those 86% of the people?
I wonder if it's over.
how many of those
It ended.
How many of those 86% do you think started on the 3rd season and watched episode 5?
Oh, you know what I just realized? So there's 3 seasons. We watched season 3, episode 5. We're pretty much like at the end.
It only did 3 seasons?
It only did 3 seasons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that now.
What if we had watched
Season 1, episode 1.
the first one?
We might not really know more of what's going on.
Yeah, that's
And
I
there,
don't know.
there was only 8 episodes in the final
So
season
there's
too.
literally only 3 episodes after this. There's chapter.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, that makes sense as to why this just fried my brain when I watched it.
We watched what, chapter 24? Yeah.
Do you wanna? What do you
25, 26, 27. That's it. There were 3 episodes after
Do
this.
you want to dive into some of the characters that we meet in this episode? It's surprisingly a pretty small cast list. So David Haller is he is Legion, right? He is the main guy.
Yeah.
Is Legion his superhero name? Is that
No. Legion is the name of the mind parasite.
what is Legion?
Legion is a being.
Okay, so why is he Legion?
Just read that. Read the biography of Legion.
I don't know what this show was. I don't know what I watched.
Okay, I'll intersect really quick. This is a
So
biography on Legion. Charles Xavier met Gabrielle Haller while working in an Israel mental facility where she was one of his patients. Xavier was secretly using his psychic powers to ease the pain of Holocaust survivors
Yes.
institutionalized there. The two had an affair that would result in the birth of a son, David. However, Xavier was unaware of this, as Gabrielle never told him. I guess that doesn't really explain the name Legion.
Okay, second question. I have several. Second question. He can read your mind. He can teleport. He can travel through time. He can explode people. He can melt people. He can multiply. He can what is his? Why is he not the most powerful being on the planet?
I think he's got to be up there.
He is one of the most powerful mutants.
Okay, but then how come I've never?
It's like him and
How come
him
I've
and
never
Jean Grey
heard
are
of-
like 1 and 2, right?
Why have I never heard of David? Why have I never heard of this guy?
I don't know, because he blows people up, and they didn't want to put that in the X-Men cartoon series that we watched as kids.
I think you just answered if you're a poser or not. So
Well, I'm a complete poser when it comes to
you just canceled
to this.
yourself.
I mean, I guess, but so who is Gabrielle? Was she also a mutant, or is she a normal?
No, she's a Holocaust survivor. I'm trying. I'm not super familiar with Legion. I'm just trying to I'm literally trying to figure out how he got legionized in the first place.
Okay, so
It looks like it has something. It has something to do with them building a prototype Cerebro,
Sure.
or him building a prototype of Cerebro, and then Farouk fucking things up, and then that.
Well, okay,
and-
so
and
let's
then-
let's continue through the list. We have David, who is Legion,
Yeah.
or is a a Legion. Is he the Legion?
He's David.
Sure. You mentioned Farouk. Who's that guy? He's the bad guy. But
He's
who
a
is he?
he's a mutant.
Is he?
Yeah.
In my notes I have him
So-
as bad guy / wears sunglasses indoors.
Okay, so he calls himself David's father. He's
Right.
actually a mutant. He's the one who teaches David how to use his mutant powers. I don't know if any of them know that his mutant powers come from Legion.
And Legion is
Legion is a he's a
okay.
Legion is a thought construct.
So
he doesn't
how
act.
is-
He's not a physical person.
How is Farouk the bad guy if David is also the bad guy, but then there's a whole other team of bad guys? Who's the good guy in this?
There is no. Well, okay, I'm trying to think of. Okay, you've watched Joker 2019, right?
Sure.
No good guy in that movie.
I would say
The Joker is not a good guy.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's very much like that. Like David is a good person. Legion, who is an incredibly powerful parasitic mutant comprised only of thought, who takes the form of David, is the bad guy. Legion
Okay.
exists
No, that makes
because
sense.
Farouk kind of prods it out of him.
So, going back to what I said about the team of bad guys, right? So we have Farouk, and then we have Carrie and Carrie Loudermilk.
Uh-huh.
Cary, Carrie,
Yeah.
the dad, and then Kerry, the daughter, I think. I think they're dad and daughter.
Yeah.
Loudermilk. Who are they? They seem to work for some company, organization.
Yeah, that part I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sounds good. We also meet a girl named, they call her Switch. She is apparently friends with David. The kind of main storyline of this episode is he's searching for her. We don't know who she is or what her relationship is, but it seems like the Loudermilks and who else? The Loudermilks are also looking for her and have her. We also meet Lenny Busker. Lenny Busker is Aubrey Plaza. She's in the episode only in the beginning, and then she dies.
Yeah, yes.
I thought maybe she just quote dies, but I think she actually dies because
I think, yeah, there's only 3 episodes.
there's only 3 episodes left.
Yeah,
so I'm
yes.
sure that she actually dies. We then meet the Debussy, Clark and Daniel. They are a couple. I have them listed as bad guy and other bad guy.
Okay, how about this? Let me hit you with this one. Fundamentally, he has the ability
shit.
to alter reality and time on a cosmic scale at will, but due to multiple personalities, the practice of his abilities depends on the dominant personality. Each alter ego has different powers enabled by David's subconscious manipulation of reality. The core personality, David Haller, not Legion, generally does not manifest any mutant abilities. Legion is all of the multiple personalities combined into one mutant.
I thought you were gonna say Legion is all of us.
We are Legion.
That's what I was gonna get.
I farted.
I am farting. Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
How does a show like this even get made?
I
Like,
think
how does a show-
we have to go so far down.
A show like this belongs on a paid subscription, like HBO or Showtime. This is just on FX. FX was like, yeah, that sounds good. I know enough of what you just said to me. That sounds good. Let's shoot it. And I'm like, this. I think that this show is so bizarre for like the normal consumer of TV that like it would just go completely. There are no shows like this on regular TV that are this weird.
I would argue Midnight Gospel is this weird.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show on Cartoon Adult Swim.
I
think it's Adult Swim. I watched it on
This
Netflix.
is the first time ever hearing about it.
It is a psychedelic cartoon.
So, okay, but you mentioned Adult Swim. That's like
This looks nothing. You haven't seen. You haven't seen that? For those of you who can't tell, producer Josh is pulling up he's pulling up a Midnight Gospel.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
It's very similar. Think of
But
Rick,
it's a-
think of
but
Rick
if
and
it's
Morty,
on-
but with psychedelic
It's a
cosmotropic
Netflix show.
overtones.
It's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like
Okay, can I answer?
Adventure
let
Time.
me. It's a more psychedelic Adventure Time.
Cool.
Whereas psychedelic was like bizarre and nonsensical, this is like meant to be like thought-provokingly psychedelic.
Sure. You had a point. Go on.
To answer your question, how does this get made? We have to be so far into a massively multi-billion-dollar superhero comic explosion in pop culture that someone was like, I want to make the fucking weirdest comic there is.
But
and someone at a studio was like, here's millions of dollars, go
But
nuts.
the source material was probably already very weird.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, FX took a swing at this and thought it would work, and I guess it did. People like it.
I'm surprised you're not more up for whatever in terms of the weirdness that is Legion.
Okay. My demeanor would have you believe that I did not enjoy this. It's not that I didn't enjoy this. I don't have feelings or emotions after watching this.
You are Legion.
Did I miss? We meet a guy named Patanomy Wallace, who's like the the robot.
Yeah.
Robot man.
Okay, this is the part this is the part where I think this show gets super weird, and we couldn't. How could we possibly know? Because Carrie, and Potomi are his therapists.
Patanomy.
Yeah, Potomi.
P-T-O-N-O-M-Y.
Yeah, Patanomy.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay, they're
The ship. He is the ship, right?
so Carrie, and Patanomy are his therapists.
That's what you read in the pre-roll.
Oh, it is what I read in the pre-roll. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're the bad guys, though.
Are they, or are they just trying to help him? It could be another whatchamacallit.
So Patanomy has his sidekicks are the two mustachioed robot women.
They're the Vermilion. That's
Okay,
their name.
Here's my
their
que-
one
okay,
creature.
Okay. That's my question. So in the IMDb notes, there are Vermilions and there are Acolytes.
Yeah.
I didn't know which. I was like, are they Vermilion 1 and 2 or are they Acolyte 1 and 2?
They're Vermilion 1 and 2, and I only know that because they Potomi calls them Vermilion in the scene where they become the ship.
So do we think this is a instance where Patanomy and the Loudermilks, Carrie and Carrie, who are supposedly his therapists, can't therapize him because he's out of control?
Yeah. Yes. I think there's probably like if we watched the show, the whole show, we'd probably see
is that not what we did?
That's not what we did. Turns out we didn't do that. I think if we watched the whole show, we would see them doing
watched
actual
a-
therapist things.
Come on, do it with me.
So I think there's really
Okay.
three main plots. There's David trying to find Switch, which is like our episode plot,
Right.
which plays into a larger plot, which is David is trying to fix time.
Okay, so go to your third plot before I ask you, questions about your psych.
I think the third plot is Farouk wants to fight David, or he thinks David has grown too powerful, or he thinks David needs to be taken out.
So there are very few things that I picked up on this episode.
Sure.
There are very few threads that I was able to connect and make sense of.
Yeah.
The overarching theme of this was that David was trying to fix something, and his attempt at fixing it was to alter time.
Yeah.
So my question to you is he going? I'm doing a lot of hand motions.
Yeah, a lot of
here.
hand motions. This
Is
is
he
where the YouTube really comes in. It's a really beneficial
Is
for
he
our
going?
video.
Okay, ready? Is he
Yeah.
going back in time?
No.
Or is he resetting time?
Okay.
And follow up.
Yeah.
What is the difference?
So here is time. Right?
I am Legion. Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They know.
Well, so okay. So this is time.
I am Legion.
I hope my line appears like at the Disney Channel when I say that. This is time. He's here.
yeah.
Going back in time, he does this, right? He goes back.
Doesn't going... Okay.
Going back in time puts you...
Time travel is a very weird trope because I think the one common theme is that once you go back in time, you're now splitting it into multiple
times. Yes.
Okay.
I think he's not trying to do that. He is trying to reverse time. I'm hoping the line like disappears as I do that.
Because if you...
The look Josh is giving me is that we might not be able to. That might not be in the budget. But anyway, he's trying to go back on the same timeline.
So...
He's trying to undo time, not go back in time.
Okay. But doesn't resetting time on the same timeline mean that
It negates everything that's happening?
all of existence is from the viewpoint of one person then?
It would insinuate that, yes.
It basically just means that like the existence of everyone else doesn't matter because he's able to start over.
That's more or less what they're suggesting, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I should be fair. That's more or less what David is convinced of.
Is he the timekeeper? I meant no. I meant is
from
time
Loki?
is time bending one of his myriad of superpowers?
Reality alteration and manipulation is one of his superpowers. It gets super weird at this point because the way that different comic book universes describe reality is different. Like in some, time and space and reality are all separate things. In other ones, they're all the same.
If you are still listening or watching, thanks.
Wow. Wow, thank you. Look, we did it with time. Now here's a heart.
Okay, I don't think that
I hope that shows up.
I don't think that he is the time bender. I think that Switch is the time bender.
Yes, and he thinks that if he can take Switch and they can go back to before everything bad happened and undo an event, they're essentially trying to. You know what? They're essentially trying to fuck Marty McFly's mom. That's what's happening.
Oh boy!
Because that undoes Marty McFly in the Back to the Future scene.
I can actually hear people clicking out of the YouTube tab right now.
You can see the bounce rate in real time. There it goes.
Okay, I had a point, and then you mentioned
banging Marty McFly's mom. Yeah, I did mention that.
Okay, we're talking.
David
about
is the timekeeper.
Timekeeper.
Is there a difference?
I don't remember what I had. At what point I had. It must have not been important.
All right, close enough.
Let's dig into the plot. There's like I said, I don't even.
You know what? We normally
I don't even know what to.
Here's the thing: we normally try to walk through plots, but plots have to make sense for us to walk through them.
When I say the word plot, and then I think about what I watched in the show, I can feel my insides just like.
Yeah.
I want to. Okay, so question.
Yes.
I don't know how many questions I've asked you. I don't know why you would have the answers because we have both
I've watched
the same thing.
Literally the only difference is I knew about the Keanu Reeves movie.
Producer Josh, when and where does this take place? Because the opening scene is after the previously on and all that stuff.
I think this takes place in like the 1970s, doesn't it?
The opening scene is the mustachioed women on their motorbikes. The motorbikes look futuristic.
Yeah.
There also is a van. The van sort of looks futuristic.
It looks like a tour bus.
So, and if Mr. X is David's dad, then
Mr. X.
If Mr. X is David's dad, then I am to believe that this takes place in the same time.
I think it takes place in a modern Earth. For people watching, you can see the air quotes that I'm using. For people listening, I'm just using air quotes because I think modern Earth just loosely means like we have cars and there are there's like a power grid.
Are you getting a confirmation of when and where this show takes place?
I mean, I looked it up and Reddit just says it doesn't matter.
That makes sense. That's the most Reddit thing I could possibly think of. I don't think it
does
I don't,
matter.
But the thing is, I don't think it matters because. Okay, let me hit you with this. Who knows? Maybe this whole thing is just it was aliens and everything's inside David's head.
Do you think the ending of this episode is them resetting time and then we start with episode 1?
I hope
We start
not.
with episode 1.
I sure hope not. I really hope not.
Let's kind of let's try to snowball the plot at the best we can. So we do meet the Debussies. So
Yeah.
Daniel is on the bus.
Debussy.
After David just obliterates everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Que-
He melts. melts
question.
everyone. Yeah. So here's the thing. He melts the Vermilions, which makes me think they're robots.
Okay. Other question.
Yeah.
There are several scenes throughout this episode where David
Disintegrates people.
disintegrates people.
Yeah.
Are those people dead, or does he just like send them somewhere else?
No, I think they're dead.
Are we to believe that he's just like willy nilly?
Yeah, I think he's just blipping them out of existence.
Mass killing.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's part of the
David's the bad guy.
well, yeah, I think that's part of
the bad guy.
I think that's part of the allure of an anti-hero.
So, this brings up the first plot point, which is David is looking for Switch. He gets on the bus after obliterating the mustachioed women,
Yeah.
and he basically says, "I know you know where Switch is. Tell me." He won't tell him, so then he just
Melts his brain.
goes into his brain.
Yeah.
And then realizes.
Takes the information and melts his
Then
brain.
he realizes, here's a missing plot point. He realizes that she's on a spaceship.
Yeah.
How does he get to outer space? He just ends up there.
He teleports. He can teleport.
Oh, god damn it. I forgot he could do that.
Yeah, he can do. Yeah.
I literally forgot he could do that.
See, that's where you that's where you're missing out because
like-
when you have unlimited powers, there's no such thing as a plot hole.
I was like, yeah, they just didn't explain how he ended up there. And
No
then I
such thing
realized
as a
he
plot
just
hole.
Plot holed. Okay. We also now know.
That's what The Incredibles taught us: when everything is a plot hole, nothing is a plot hole.
We also now know that David / Daddy
yes, yeah,
has a hippie commune
Yeah, he
of
goes-
women that just like worship him and call him Daddy.
yeah. That's what happened. Yeah,
It actually might be the 70s.
That's
Because
why I
the
think
his van pulls up, like a Cheech and Chong van pulls
Yeah.
up. He rolls out. Everyone's
they get
in
out of like
the-
a double-decker bus with like
they're-
the floral
they're,
print and the
and his whole costume is like a hippie.
yeah, it's like a Sergeant Pepper's thing.
Yeah, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, think about it, right? So if Charles Xavier and Gabrielle Haller met after the Holocaust, that would have been like the 50s or maybe the 60s. So if he's like 18, like
Okay,
that would put it right in the 70s.
he seems to be around 18, early 20s.
Yeah.
All of these women, and there's a lot of them, like, they see him step out of the van, and
Yeah.
they're all like, "Daddy's home, Daddy, Daddy." And I'm like, what is this show? What is happening? I do not know.
This is I'm still at this point I'm still trying to figure out this show, and my exact note is, oh, there's a hippie commune he's arriving at. There's women hanging out flowered leis. There's a significance to these blue flowers.
Right.
Someone's just arriving here. Oh, it's David. Oh, Daddy's home.
So the crowd of
And then I
women-
put Daddy's home. That's not Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
those are also not the people that are in Daddy's home. Mel Gibson. You're looking for the films of Mel Gibson.
No, Daddy's home was that was Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
That you're thinking of. What is the other guys? Is what you're thinking of.
No.
Anyway, you go ahead and confirm that.
Yeah, producer Josh, can we get a check on Daddy's home?
So the women crowd around him, and then they realize he disappears. He goes into the home. He teleports into the home because he can do that.
Because he can do that, yeah.
And there's like a fight. There's like a random fight happening.
Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
Oh, what am I thinking of? What's the Mel Gibson one?
No, you're thinking of I think you're thinking of Daddy's Home,
Daddy's Home
2
with Mel Gibson.
with Mel Gibson and Robert De Niro. Do we know if this takes
Okay.
place in the DHCU?
So this is where we meet Aubrey
the
Plaza.
Daddy's Home cinematic universe.
This is where we meet Aubrey Plaza.
He goes into the hippie commune.
And he blips everyone away because he's annoyed.
Yeah.
Everyone just disappears.
And and this is where she brings up the point that he can't just kill people at will. And this is where he says he's not killing them because he's going to reset time, so it doesn't matter.
Who is Aubrey Plaza? Is she a witch? She has a kid, and then she stabs herself in the neck.
That is I can't believe that happens.
I can
because the show makes no sense, but it comes out of nowhere.
So I don't know who she is. Is she a witch?
She has some connection to David. I think she was she's either I think she's another mutant who has some kind of powers. She has a kid. She thinks she has a kid. She has a kid, but David says it doesn't matter. She has a kid. I think the therapists, Farouk, that whole gang, kills the kid.
That makes sense.
And she loses her shit, and David tries really hard to be like, join me. And then she's like, you're not going to manipulate me. You're not going to control me. And then she just stabs herself right in the neck.
I will say that that sets up a whole bunch of... It sets up basically the avalanche of David
going to war.
Going nuts, right? And he ends up teleporting to the spaceship because he knows that's where what's her name is.
We cut to Switch, who is stuck in an alternate pocket dimension.
Okay. This whole scene was bananas.
Cuckoo bananas.
She's sitting
at a dinner
in
table
a black room eating dinner with somebody who's speaking Mandarin on the TV.
Maybe her father on a TV.
And then she passes the TV food, and then he takes
the potatoes. The potatoes.
And then there's a little
wind up
her with the switch with the
crank.
The
key crank.
And then she also has one
on the back of her neck.
What the fuck is this show?
No idea.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
That makes sense.
Yes, it makes no sense.
So okay.
Nothing makes sense.
So you also don't
have any idea what's going on. Yes.
Happening.
Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah. There we go. We're on the same page now.
I will say all of the scenes that we get of, I believe
it's at this point I read, how the fuck am I only 12 minutes into this episode?
all of the scenes that we get of what's her name?
My very next note, which is about her being stuck in that, is I patently have zero fucking idea what's going on.
Of Carrie. Where she is fighting off all of the women.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All the fight scenes are rad.
Well, let's
the fight scenes are rad.
We'll jump to that real quick. So they're in the airship. They take the airship into low Earth orbit in order to get out of David's range of teleportation.
Right.
However, while doing that, Farouk really wants to just fight David.
Right.
And Farouk tips David off to where they are in low Earth orbit. So David takes a couple of Daddy's girls and he bops on up to the airship. And then there's a scene where Carrie Carrie just goes full on.
She's great.
Charlie's Angel.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the David Sid body switch, double body switch, triple body switch, David Sid Sid scene?
I'm pretty sure it's David Sid, David Sid, David Sid.
Okay. He finds Sid. They talk. They apparently had some
kind of
romantic relationship in the past.
It went bad. It went badly.
Bad. She touches his face, and then they
body switch.
They Freaky Friday.
Yep, they Freaky Friday.
Okay, but then do they Freaky Friday again?
No, yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I think they do it 3 times.
And
then on top of the Freaky Friday, they Attack of the Clones, the Freaky Friday, and now there are just multiple Davids and multiple Sids, which might actually be each other.
So
they
each grab the copy of.
Holy shit!
They each grab the copy of Daddy's Home 2 with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
And Robert De Niro, and they say, "I wish none of this had ever happened," and then they switch bodies. And then Sid is in David's body, and David. Okay. So here's the thing.
She touches his face,
and they switch bodies.
I'm you now.
Welcome back to another episode. It's your boy Bell.
But wait, now
we're switching
Now we're
back.
back. But are we?
Okay, no. So here's the thing. Here. Let me. I can help you with this.
They Freaky Friday multiple times.
She, no.
then Attack of the
So she Freaky Fridays him, right?
once.
However, when she Freaky Fridays him, she doesn't understand that she Freaky Fridays with one of hundreds of him.
Because
Because he has multiple personalities.
the one. So technically, she's actually Freaky Fridaying with one of the
hundreds. Yeah, one of Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Because it turns. We're so focused on that, and then it cuts to another scene where we really realize, like, oh, there's a lot of them.
Hundreds of
And then they all
Davids.
say, I am Legion. And
Yeah.
then I don't know who the Legion is.
I think they're all Legion. I think that's the point.
So then, after all of the clones,
So what they do is he jumps back into his body. But when he jumps back into his body, he traps Sid's consciousness in his body with all of the
So
other
I wrote,
personalities.
David tells Carrie to kill Sid, but she's not really Sid because she's David. But then there's hundreds of David clones, but also Sid is David.
That actually, you know what? That is right. The thing you just said is right.
I actually think I fucking nailed it.
Yeah, you did. That is what happened. That's exactly what happened.
So David tells Sid to kill. David tells Carrie
Okay, no,
to kill
don't
Sid.
try it again. Don't try it again.
Yeah.
You nailed it. You landed it. You stuck it
Okay.
on the first one. Just
So the ending of this.
okay. Just so you know, my note is Sid and David switched. That must be Sid's power to swap minds or something. Just random fucking guesses at this
Okay.
point.
We're not even to the end, which
Carrie
is
is stuck in David, but David is Legion, so David is Carrie. That seems important.
it culminates into Clark gets killed and then sent into outer space and dies in
Yeah,
outer
he
space.
just gets
And-
rocketed into
right.
outer space.
And we see like the classic
Frozen in outer space. Yeah.
The ending of this is David starts singing an Elvis Costello song.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the music swells. And then he starts to really sing this Elvis Costello song. And then all of a sudden, the whole ending is everybody who is in this episode sings along to this Elvis Costello song, including Clark, who's in outer space dead. He's frozen, dead, floating in space. Camera pans to him. He starts singing along. We cut to Aubrey Plaza with a knife in her neck.
For the record, the song "What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding."
The perfect song to end with.
Right. However, it's an Elvis Costello song. Came out in 1979.
This show.
So that must be when
this
this.
the best show I've ever seen.
I don't know. It's something.
The fact that we see Clark, who's dead, floating in outer space, frozen,
Singing along.
singing. We see Aubrey Plaza with a knife in her neck.
Yeah.
She's dead, singing along.
Singing along.
And then it's just a chorus of all of the dead bodies.
Yep.
We get
Everyone-
Carrie and Carrie. We get.
I think Carrie and Carrie aren't involved in it because they're still alive. I think.
Yeah, but there's a lot of live people that are singing along.
Farouk was singing too.
Farouk was singing. Yeah,
Farouk
yeah.
starts, and we didn't even mention that Farouk gets sent to another dimension by Switch.
Yeah.
She like opens up a portal and kicks him, and he ends up like in a
In like a
photo.
grainy 1800s film.
Yeah. If you have not watched this episode, watch the episode and then watch this podcast because
I literally wrote this show is the weirdest thing I've seen since Twin Peaks.
and I think this is weirder than
It's
Twin
weirder
Peaks.
than Twin Peaks,
Or
yeah.
at least this episode was. Anyway,
Have you ever seen? Did you ever watch the show? It's a British comedy. It's called Toast of London.
haven't seen it.
Matt
It is-
Berry?
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
It is so funny. It's very similar to this in the sense that it is just absurdity.
Yeah,
Complete
well,
absurdity. It is a very funny show, though. Highly recommended.
So, the episode kind of ends in this hippy dippy kaleidoscope. We zoom out a bunch of shapes and colors, and then we realized, okay, we're going back in time.
Going back in time.
baby.
Yep.
Or we're gonna reset time or whatever. it
whichever
might
one
be.
is the right one.
Okay.
That way.
Here's the question I've been burning.
Okay.
That's been burning.
Yeah.
Who bangs and who dies?
I think. I don't. How do you want me to
I don't
answer
know.
that?
Do
Sid and David get back together?
There's only 3 episodes left.
Do they get back together?
she was him. I am Legion.
Yeah, but I farted. The thing is, that's a joke from the Community episode, but nobody.
Producer Josh, can you make sure you timestamp that so we know exactly?
Yeah, it's a reference to Community. I didn't actually. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this might be a horny show.
Yeah.
Or like horny episodes. I don't know if it's necessarily a horny show.
I don't think it's a horny show in the sense of like a Shonda Rhimes horny, but
Right.
I think it's a horny show in the sense of like they don't shy away from horniness.
Okay. The Louder Milks. Do they
Yeah.
die?
No.
Farouk, does he die?
Yes.
Can Patanomy even die?
I don't
He's a
think
robot.
so. I don't think he and the Vermilions can die.
So Daniel dies. Or no, Clark dies because he gets sent to outer space.
Yeah.
Daniel,
Is
he doesn't know.
Brainless.
He doesn't know that Clark is dead.
yeah.
Does he...
Care?
What happens when he finds out?
I don't think anything. I think all of this gets reset.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I would say there's probably a lot of death. There's already been a lot of death in this. It's actually
Yeah.
like a pretty
Pretty dark in that
dark and
regard.
gruesome show.
Yeah.
And I would assume that
I think it's just an adult show, so I think it's safe to say bang bang and dead and dying.
I feel like I normally start with my final thoughts.
Sure.
I'm going to need a minute. Go ahead and wrap up with what you thought of Legion.
Okay, Legion. FX original series Legion. I mean, good. I thought it was good.
Yeah, okay. Is that it? That's all? You're going
I
to... No
think-
more? No more than... it was good.
I think this is a super interesting premise. I think it's cool. I think the whole concept of this is like, what would happen if you had a Omega level mutant with schizophrenia? Someone asked that question, and we have just been running ever since.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
I just think okay. In terms of like writing direction, acting, like the plot, I think it's all really, really good.
Right.
I think it looks really cool. It was
agree.
it was fun to watch. It was really weird and hard to follow, but it was fun to watch. I would say that I would like if I had to rate it, I'm gonna rate it 8.1.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it an 8.1. The acting's good, the writing's good, it looks super cool. I think that I would watch this if I cared a little more, and I think the fact that I have no idea what the fuck is going on
Sure.
makes me not care as much as maybe I would. I think if I'm ever like I want to watch just a weird, mind-bending, cool show, this would be where I go. Do I see myself going there in the next few years? Probably not.
Okay. I have the same thoughts as you do, but somehow a different outcome.
Huh, okay.
I don't know what I watched. I don't know
Yeah.
what I watched.
Yeah.
None of this episode made sense. I understand that is the premise of this podcast.
Yeah.
We're
For the
not
most- yeah.
we're not supposed to know. But when you watch an episode of, and I know Josh is going to be upset when we say this, when we watch an episode of Young Sheldon,
Yeah,
we
young
don't-
Shelton.
We don't know what Young Sheldon's about, but we watch it and you go, oh, okay, I get it.
Pretty sure it was Blake Shelton growing up, but that's okay.
When you watch a show like Legion and you go, I don't know what this is, but we'll find out, and then you get thrown into this, it's like, what are
It's
you,
not.
what
It's
are you-
not. It's
what
not.
are you
It's not a fun.
supposed to do.
It's not a fun. I have no idea what the fuck
Right.
is going on.
So in your
mean,
case,
I still had fun
in
with
your
it.
case, you were like overwhelmed, didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I don't really have an interest.
I was
For-
just along for the ride.
for me. I'm like, I'm going to watch episode 1 so I can understand what the hell I just watched.
I think I'll get there. I think, but I'm just.
I am. Once I finish,
I gotta finish Loki and
Once I finish,
I haven't watched Holton
Holton-
Catchfire.
Once I finish Holton Catchfire,
I haven't
I'm
watched any of
probably
that.
gonna watch this show because I am so.
I take that back. I said within the next few years. I see myself watching
it,
this
like,
in the next few years.
has set a burning desire in me to understand who David is. Right. I agree with everything you said. Acting is amazing. There's not a single person who's bad at it in the show. Cinematography, all the visuals look great. The music is like, it's one of those shows where like the music really does add a lot. Even the use of the Elvis Costello song at the end.
What's the number?
Oddly enough, I'm going to go lower than you, even though I have a desire to go back and watch it. You gave it an 8.1.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this more of like barely a 7.
Barely a 7. Interesting.
But I'm going to go back and watch this because I have to understand. This left me in such a my brain is in such a mush of like, and there's no way that I can just move past and go, well, that was crazy. I have to understand why that was crazy.
Well, that was FX's
original?
Legion.
Right.
FX's original Legion.
We're gonna do what we always do.
Season-
At this part of. Oh wait, yeah.
Season 3,
tell 'em-
episode 5, chapter 24. You know?
Producer Josh is gonna reach.
I'm
into
a
the
little
hat.
shocked you gave it a 7.
I mean, I don't know. I don't. Do,
I
do,
know-
do
I know-
numbers
I know-
even matter?
No. I rated this show Legion.
Wait. I am. Producer Josh is going to reach in the hat to pick the show for the next week.
Right.
While he does that, let's tell you about this. If you are listening, make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you get your podcast, Stitcher, iTunes, all that good stuff. Do us one better. Find us on YouTube.
On the YouTube, search You've Never Seen That Podcast.
Also, follow us on the internet. We are pretty active on Instagram. We do a lot of polls asking our fans what we should watch.
Also, I
So-
say this every week. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think we have a Twitter.
I think it's just Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. Reply to or make a comment. I will reply to every single comment.
We do a lot of polls asking what you think we should watch. So if you have been watching a show that you don't think we've seen,
And if any of you are going to say Legion, fuck you.
find us there at YNST Podcast.
I'd watch Legion again.
What
I'll
are
watch
we
it.
watching
Fine.
next
So-
week?
So pull it out of the hat again.
Next show we are watching is it's backwards. The Magicians.
Oh, this is I actually know a good number of this.
Okay,
Or a good number? A good little bit about this? I don't
good
know. I'd seen a
number.
good number. I don't know.
I only know about this because my wife loves this show.
I'm sorry.
Who?
My wife.
Long
one
time
more
friend.
time.
Long time friend of the show. Josh.
What did you
producer
say?
Josh.
Who?
Oh,
wife?
sorry. My wife.
Yeah, his
Oh.
wife, yeah. Shout out to his family.
He didn't do it.
Yeah, he didn't do it.
We have 5 seasons. Roll the dice.
It's 5 seasons, really?
5 seasons.
This went for 5 seasons. Wow.
2020 was the last season.
Huh. Just ended.
Jeez. Season 5.
Oh,
Oh, here we go again.
Why?
Chapter 24. David goes to war.
13 episodes.
We're trapped in a Legion loop now. No, wait.
You have the hardest case to get these dice out of.
Yeah, but it's nice. They're nice dice.
It is,
What am I gonna?
It is nice. It is nice.
What am I gonna do? Just leave them in a bag like a schlub?
We are
don't know,
watching
Megan.
episode 7.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Legion season 3 episode.
The Magicians, season 5, episode 7 is called Acting Dean. Todd sings a song. Holy shit. Ready? This is for real. Todd sings a song. Margot gives a foot bath.
I like it. You said
You said your wife likes this show?
I'm not gonna lie. You said that since I'm on a community kick. You said that, and all like Gay Dean started playing in my head.
Acting Dean. That was our episode of FX's Legion. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't really know.
Join us for the next episode where we will be watching season 5, episode 7, Acting Dean of the show The
Magicians.
Magicians. See ya.
Bye.
You never seen that.